Good morning, StarCraft fans. We are back with day 2 of the round of 8. It's going to be a Terran versus Zerg, and luckily, again, we've got our Zerg expert joining me, Eonzerg. What's up, man?
What's up, Nyoken? You know, happy to be here. Happy to spectate such a great map that, to say such a great game like Might versus Queen. I don't think it can get better.
You know, I was thinking the same thing because I remember you talking about who's one of the few people in ASL that actually have more than one championship. Well, we've got Queen, he's one of them, but he's going up against an old school player, Mind, who actually has an MSL championship. So 2 champions facing off versus each other this time.
Yeah, look, my case is so interesting. He's having like a renaissance.
Yeah, resurgence.
No, renaissance. Fuck, I'm talking French here. Anyway, he's having like a second era of like like Bryan skill.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's so great to see because he already beat great players like Soma and Bisu. And I mean, this guy, like you mentioned, he won the MSL championship. You know, back then the competition was so big, and this guy, he was like, if you watch the final, you will see that he was like a clinic player, a player with great execution, great macro, and just like a steady decision making. And in my opinion, that's what really like defines this guy. It's not really a guy we are going to see uh, with great mechanics and going all over the place, but more like a guy with really like great control of the game, great decision making, and I, like to put an example of the difference of a player he is. There is Rush that he's like willing to commit whatever it takes. Like going against 4 lurkers, all of them like stuck. I don't think mine is this kind of player. He's like more like playing more with more tools instead of like going rampage like that.
Yeah, definitely different styles. And getting some highlights from the previous games. As you mentioned, there was Soma right there.
이 연속 3대0 승리 따내고 이번 시즌 4강의 주인공이 됩니다. 김명훈. 정말 노련한 판단, 완벽하게 속여 넘기는 김명훈 선수의 경기 운영. 완벽한 테란전.
Yep, so we are going to be going into interviews with our players in just a moment, as you can see. And I think that graphic near the end actually said Zero has a 100% win rate in the round of 8. I would have to check Wikipedia to see if that's actually a true statement or not, or if my Korean is just rusty. But yeah, I like what you said about mine, how the execution's on point, because that's exactly what it was when he faced off versus Bisu and Hero the other day. Like, it was just absolute perfection. But actually the one thing that I noticed from Mind was just how in the zone he was. He didn't let anything phase him. He had his BBS scouted, no reaction at all, even though he instantly tapped out. He crushed Hero in the next game, no reaction, just stone cold killer. He's definitely not someone like Mini who's going to let the emotions get to him. He's just, totally focused. He knows what the end goal is, and he just executes perfectly.
Yeah, I remember back then they used to say this guy was a robot, like not really like emotions or anything like that. Just like a guy that is super focused always. And it really shows in his games. I don't think this guy gets tilted at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Actually, right now with him kind of smirking and smiling, I think is the most reaction I've seen from him the entire tournament. Now, we've talked about Mind a lot, but what about Queen? What do you like about Queen's play?
I mean, Queen Queen is such an interesting case because Queen, there is no deny this guy being like a great set player since day one. Like when you used to watch this guy on Pro League, you will get this feeling that this guy is like he's put like everything on the table. Like I remember back then, like no one really sees like the Queen play, and this guy will come with Queen strategies and demolish Terran players. Like the fantasies that try to do mech builds, he will come with these Queen strategies and just like destroy him. And everyone was amazed back then. But he never won a championship actually. And I asked myself, because I have this theory that some players, the way they play, it naturally develops over the years. I asked myself if Queen actually he step up his skill, or it was like a natural thing to come eventually to him to win these championships.
Yeah, I don't know. Queen, I love Queen. He's like a really fantastic player, and actually a lot of my friends, such as Machine, he loves Queen. That's his favorite player. He said for a long time this was going to be the next big Zerg player after Jadon, and you know that's come to fruition because here he is in the ASL crushing every time he's in there. I wish we could get translations there just because of Mind's reaction. Queen must have some snide remarks for Mind here because you really don't see him react that much at all. But we do've got good maps, Eonzerg. We did see our second map of the day is going to be 76. You think there's anything to look out for on those particular maps?
I mean, it depends because we are in a round of 8. I don't really know if these players want to spend too much time on this map instead of like focusing on something else. But the classic style I have seen so far in this map is this mass mute style against Valkyries. So I don't know, because like Ser, it's funny that Ser, you will see Ser like spending on different mains and then using the it's called Critter that there is close to the ramp, Ser Critter or something like that, that you put a sunken there and then you defend. So I don't know if we are really going to see a game like that, or a more aggressive build, like I don't know, barracks, 2 barracks, or 8 barracks, or maybe 2 barracks academy instinct timing. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, since we did see Mind attempt that on Heartbreak Ridge with the BBS, I think 76 could be another map where we may see it. I'm still waiting for the 1-base Wraith Marine Medic, whether it's Terran versus Protoss or Terran versus Zerg. And here we go. This is the map selection today. We've got Sylphid first off for Mind. I think that's a good map for Queen though. Then 76 was actually Queen's pick, so he must have something planned there. Then we got Standard Vermeer. I would say Dark Origin, pretty standard too. And then also Retro Standard to finish us off if we actually make it to Game 5.
Yeah, interesting. We're not going to see Nemesis on this map pool. I asked myself if someone banned it, maybe Queen.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how the maps are selected. Like, are they banned out initially, or do they just pick twice and then there's a random selection for the 5th map? Not too sure. We're getting a look at the stats for Mind here. You can see that it's been a long time since we've seen Mind, all the way back in Season 7, and actually he has kind of stalled out in the round of 8, so he's looking to improve on his previous performances and getting into the round of 4 for the first time.
Yeah. Wow. I never saw these scores. I don't even remember the games, to be honest. Yeah, surprised with these scores, to be honest. Wow, look at Queen. Oh my God, this is. I mean.
Yeah, this
oh
is,
my God, this data, man.
This is completely different than the screen you just saw before, where mine's like 1 and 3 versus players like Flash, Hero, Sharp. We've got Queen over here, 3-1 versus Free, 3-2 versus Larva, 3-0 Best, 3-0 JYJ, and 3-2 Kiminchol. That's Sulky. So just crushing all the races, and actually, it would be fantastic if we actually get Queen through here, because he could have a rematch from Season 10, as you can see in this data graphic, which is versus Best, and try and knock him out again.
Man, I'm speechless with this. I wasn't speechless like before, and now like seeing this, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and actually 3 out of those 5 people on the list that Zero or Queen has knocked out are still in this tournament. Sulky, JYJ, and Best are all still in it, and there's actually a real chance that he'll face, well, assuming he wins here, there's a chance that he could face all of them. Well, I guess not all of them, but 2 out of the 3 of them, because Sulky and JYJ on the bottom side of the bracket.
You know what? I really don't play into this too much, but in this case, I'm going to say I might really need to win map 1.
Oh,
need
yes.
to build that confidence, because after seeing these scores, man, Jesus.
Yeah, Queen, like I said in one of those previous graphics, I was pretty sure it said that Queen had not lost in the round of 8, and that was proof right there. We are getting a look at Mine's stats, though. He's got good win rate, 50% pretty much across the board for him, and those are numbers that can take you pretty far in this tournament. Of course, he's already in the round of 8. We'll see if he will get denied again that round of 4 appearance that he's looking for. But yeah, I agree. First map, you gotta win here. Sylphid, that's a pretty good map for both sides. I think I like it more for Zerg depending on spawns, but still a pretty balanced map. And then, of course, the killer right here, looking at his stats, and his win rate, his highest win rate is versus Terran. So Mind, oh man, this is gonna be a tough one.
Indeed, Nyoken. This guy actually eliminated Flash from the ASL one time, so I mean, this guy can be really incredible. Like, you really need a good day to beat this guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's actually a recent clip that I saw on Reddit of him microing 2 groups of mutas. I think it was versus Rush. Let's just say that game was not close. That was absolute destruction. I'm still waiting for the day that Zerg players can perfect the 2 groups of muta micro. I don't think we'll ever see it because of how crazy it is, but maybe one day we'll actually get it.
Yeah, there was this classic game of Jadon against, I think it was Iris, on some 2 players map, and he actually, like, he went crazy on Iris with with these 2 control groups of mutas. I never seen that before.
Yeah, I remember that game. Iris got obliterated, and that was back when I think Jadong was still on the up and up, so people were not expecting that. Anyways, we are into game 1. This is Mine versus Queen on Sylphid. Okay, in the bottom right position, our blue Terran. It is Mind. And in the top middle, our Zerg. It is Queen.
Yeah, you know, these players, they are actually doing a new 2.5 variation. Not really doing not really doing the 2 hatcheries Muta Classic, or I have seen Nyoken, I don't know if you see this, I have seen some players doing 11 hatchery and then drones, then spawning pool, then drones. Have you seen that build order?
I have not seen that build order.
Okay.
So why do you think that is, that they're doing that?
No, it's like a new variation of the 2.5. It's like they just like they optimize so much that I don't know exactly what are the numbers, but in my opinion, it's probably like safer to make sunkens and stuff like that to deal with the two barracks academy.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, when I heard the 11 hatch, I was also thinking, well, maybe he needs that hatchery slightly faster. But we don't see the 11 hatch this time around, I don't think. I think this is still a 12 hatch. We do have an interesting wall. Oh, actually, look at the supply, Eonzerg. It was an 11 hatch, so you called it.
Yeah, but I wasn't really looking into it, so okay. Yeah, they doing this new variation, but look at it. In this case, he didn't make the extra drones. I asked myself, is going to what is this exactly?
Yeah, not sure. It would obviously get you more larvae quicker, but he did cut the drones, like you said. And with that interesting wall mine, I'm looking at his main. There's no gas there, so it's not going to be a tech followed up. It is just going to be the standard, I call ample wall, because he was the first person that I actually saw do it with this semi wall. And another building going up and down there. So I think it's the second depot, but yeah, second depot.
Yeah,
so interesting.
Looking at the drones, he made tilted drones as well.
Okay, he's gonna get pushed back. Actually, doesn't really confirm anything. Okay, we've got a third hatch going to top. Yeah, top left. Okay. Now, what do you think about this? Do you like this opener?
Well, this opening is I feel that this opening always that serves does this. It puts so much pressure on Terran. You don't really want to let a third player get 3 gases like that. But I don't know if you can punish this. Sometimes you see Terrans go crazy, send 4 Marines and build a bunker into that tier hatchery and take it down.
Well, there is no bunker this time around. You know, actually the 3 hatch play I don't see almost ever. The only player that I really see it is from Shine. Like every single season I see Shine play, he's always the only person going for 3 hatch. So I am interested to see what this means from Queen, because Queen with the Stellar Mutamicro doesn't strike me as someone that would go for this, because my personal opinion is if you're going to go mutas, 2 hatch muta is the way to go. It's just so punishing. But we'll see what he wants to do with this. We do have like a 320 gas, 335 academy, so this is pretty damn fast. And that means that likely top left is going to be having to build a couple sunkens.
Yeah, he's going to need to make sunkens at least in the May and then in that tier base as well, if he doesn't want to lose it. But in my opinion, Nyoken, when you do a build like this, you can afford so much. You can afford like upgrading at the same time. You can afford like lurker aspect, or like you can afford like going into hive right away with quickness. And in the meantime, you can like afford like going mass mutas as well.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to do something about it as Terran, because Zerg's going to explode. It's already scary enough to watch them explode off of a 2 hatch opener with just a few mutas. So he definitely needs to move out and deny, at least force some sunkens out. Now the SCV died relatively quickly, so he doesn't know exactly where the third base is. It could be mid left, it could be top left, it could be mid right for all he knows. We'll see where he actually goes. He's got to go right now though. Like every second he waits, that's just going to allow Queen to keep...
There's a lot of Marines, Nyoken.
Yeah, it's like,
no?
I think it's 9, maybe 8. So this is a couple more than you usually see at this move out. There's the first fire bet. Really good defense there with the SCV coming in for the block too. But there's a gap at the top, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe there isn't?
I don't know, but this timing, okay, he is calm. He's like not doing it.
Okay, he knows that it's top left and top right, and this is what I like to see. When you know that you're playing a player that's going to be playing defensive like this with the sunkens, there's no need to rush more barracks, or like 3 or 4 barracks. Just rush that factory. However, he's stimming for it. I can't believe this. The sunken was not in time. Now it finally completes. This, I think, was a mistake. However, if he can pick off a couple drones, that might be worth, but he didn't get any. So Mind, with the quick move out, now I'm worried because he's only on 2 racks, and we know mutas are coming.
That was a disaster, Nyoken, because, like we mentioned early on, this serve is on 3 bases with a massive eco, and yeah, like you lose map control like that quick.
Oh man, and we got to run by, and he was not ready for that. Oh wow, this is a catastrophe now. At least he's got his starport building, but unfortunately these Lings are gonna deny that SCV. The Marines are trying to save the day. Pretty good micro there to salvage this situation, but you know what Terran's not able to do because of all this? That right there, build turrets, and the mutas are already on the way.
Yeah, a big of shaky game for Mine at the moment, man. I'm so worried for him because this is looking terrible.
Oh yeah, and then at top left, that was a fast Queen's Nest. So he's done 1 billion damage. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be the Queen, or not the Queen, the Hydra Guardian. I find this build to be so hard to play against unless you have taken almost no damage. And we know Mind has already taken a lot of damage, so I'm very worried that this game could already be in the bag for Queen. We actually see vessels coming out, but my issue is now we need barracks actually. Like, we don't need vessels, we need like actual units.
Well, most of the damage, if you think about it, most of the damage was Mine running into Sunkens and then the 4 Sterling's counter.
Yeah.
Like, so far he didn't make that many mutas. I don't even think he's going to make like that many mutas anymore because of the game is going.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something like 10 or so, and then just all Guardians, and then Mass Hydra behind it. He's also got the Evolution Chamber upgrade, so if he can get armor in time for this Guardian attack, that's just going to be such a powerful build. And I still don't think Mind has scanned exactly what's going on. So for now, he's unaware. If he was aware, he would definitely be building a tank and building more barracks and starting to cut a lot of SCVs. But he may be curious, like, why isn't this guy harassing with mutas yet?
Yeah, he's going out again. Funny enough, like Hero letting him to do that. I mean, how do you know it's Guardians, Nyoken?
Well, I guess I don't know if it's Guardians. I just assumed it was. That's actually, I think, an Ultralisk Cavern in his main, so I guess I was completely wrong.
Oh! Wow, okay. Thanks God he didn't have that many mutas.
Yeah, what was it, 7? I think it was actually 7. Okay, that's not even an Ultralisk Cavern, so I'm all over the place. It's actually Defiler Mound. I really thought that this was going to be the Guardian Hydra because of how fast that Queen's Nest was. I mean, that was like a 630 Queen's Nest or something crazy, but we're actually just going into a normal game state, so Mind actually is not in trouble here. He's actually in a fine position. He's got a good barracks count. He's got good vessel count.
There are no lurkers, nothing. Oh, well, there is 1 lurker.
Wow. I don't know if it's only 1 lurker, because every time I think it's 1 lurker, it's way more than that.
Yeah, sometimes you think it's 1 and there are like 5 lurkers and you are like, wow.
Yeah, like even one of them's like not burrowed correctly, so you actually like irradiate 2 of them. You're like, oh yeah, I got at least 2 out of the 3, and then there's actually like 3 more there. It's just so hard to tell. Good irradiate there and good pick off on the Scourge. Now is that all macro hatches? That's a lot of hatcheries, man.
Now you get this is such a crazy game because I thought like mine was done for good. I still think Queen position is like really good, but I mean he's like putting some pressure now on the third player. Do you think like is it a good idea to go past dropships? But I don't think he's going to do it because I see that he's making 2 extra expansions.
Yeah, he's double expanding. I think drops can be good, but it's gotta be after like you hit critical mass drop vessels, like 6 to 8 vessels. I think that's when you do it. Or if you're just in an unwinnable position, you might as well just go for the the Hail Mary, try and go for like a 4 dropship attack and see if that can actually win the game for you. Now, what is interesting to me is with this double expand, I did also see, I think, a second factory potentially going up for mine. So he is going heavy bio with also heavy tanks, but I don't think there's an armory, so he's always going to be down in upgrades.
Oh, he didn't irradiate the defiler.
He wants it.
It's a vessel.
Yeah, loses a vessel, but he got 3 lurkers and a couple hydras, so in the end I think that was pretty worth, but supplies are almost even. And this is a Zerg with 7 hatcheries, so Zerg is going to explode in a minute, and Terran needs to get some tanks up. I do see the double add-on, like I said, there's the armory at the natural, so you need to start upgrading weapon there.
Ah, well, look at this, like, we're trying to now gain some map presence, probably trying to expand as well, because what he's doing actually requires a lot of gas. But like, I mean, the vessel count is so high that I think mine can abuse this.
Yeah, the vessel count is at like 5 or 6, so he can definitely kill a lot of stuff with the irradiates. I don't see any more barracks being put down, so I wonder if we will go into heavy factory count, like even upwards of 3 or 4 factories and just go mass tank. I think that's actually, if you're not going to go for the mech switch, I think that's what you have to do versus this new Hydra Lurker Defiler play, which is what we're seeing from Queen right now.
Okay, irradiate on the Defiler, this probably is supposed to stop this attack. Now this build that zero did is, it almost feels like a Terran build, man. Like you just like defend a bit, make like 5 mutas and like a very fast upgrades and then mass production. That I don't really see this build very often.
You know, I was thinking the same thing, especially based on where his hatcheries are. Like, you know, they're not at a third base, they're not across the map. Like, they're just all together because he wants to fight you all the time. Hydra Lurker is a great fighting comp, and we do have the first few tanks getting shown. There's really not that much bio. The vessel count is still high though, but if we can get a couple Dark Swarms down, I think Terran's going to be having a rough time stopping this. Here comes the vessel. It was plagued, I mean, so it gets one-shotted, and the second vessel almost dies too.
So far, mine is doing a good job denying these defilers, to be honest.
Yeah. He is doing a great job, but he has lost multiple vessels, and because he's now starting to pump out tanks also, it's going to be hard for him to balance the vessel count along with the tank count. So he needs to irradiate that. Almost, he does get it. That was critical. Look how much stuff Queen has coming across the map.
Yeah, a lot of units now you can, but the siege time number is rising, and remember, like, Swarm doesn't actually protect Hydras on. Yeah, Swarm doesn't actually protect Hydras.
Yeah, but he's still got to worry about this Defiler. There's consistently 1 or 2 Defilers getting across the map. He does get the Irradiate off, but he needs to save these tanks. He's not going to be able to. So he's going to lose 3 tanks to this attack, but he will hold on, and he's still up in supply. He still has 4 bases with the mineral only, but there's just non-stop reinforcements from Queen.
Yeah, and remember the expansion, the first expansion that Queen took? It actually rounds out faster, so need to take that in consideration for the late game.
Ooh, yeah, and that was actually a critical pick off there. If the Defiler got to bottom left with the Dark Swarm on the ramp, that could have opened the floodgates. But now, we actually have mine going for a counterattack. I think that this could deal decent damage, but Queen encroaching onto the natural, there's no vessels here. And remember, all the vessels were plagued, so a single Hydra can kill every single one of them.
He's losing a lot of units, Nyoken. He's losing a lot of flaggers, a lot of defilers. Actually, he's making progress to this suspension, but the vessel count is probably going to help.
Yeah, but look at that. He just lost 2 of them to 1 shot from the Hydra. That's how hard this comp is to deal with. Is you got to be very diligent with your vessels all the time, because if you just walk out of position even once, Hydra pops everything. We have a lot of fire bats to the right side. That is a lot of Zerg just waiting to reinforce, and this base has been breached, and I think that puts mine on a clock like here. He's got to do something. He's got to counter, but I don't think he can actually counter anywhere. The defense is too good.
Yeah, I don't. Is this guy actually allowing Sir to kill that command center? Not even lifting it? Okay, and this is saving it. And now a counter attack to the forest expansion from Zero. I mean, Plague everywhere on Nyoken.
Plague is just so crazy. He just one-shots them as they come in. And now, I actually think Mind has to pretty much win with this push. Oh my god, he loses all of his vessels. There's really not critical mass tanks. I think there's like 5 to 7 of them. So there's a decent amount of DPS, but I don't think he'll be able to get through this amount of units plus Dark Swarm. We'll see.
You know, Nyoken, like, this is a lot of like tanks and bio. Like, there is not even the fighter.
Yeah, that was a really good engage for Terran right there, but the vessel's gonna die again, and that was the last
There's
vessel.
one more big army coming to reinforce this big group of units. Nyoken, this is a lot of pressure for Zero right now.
It is a lot of pressure for Zero, but he's got the Defiler. He knows that the vessel count is pretty much non-existent. All he has to do is get that orange cloud down. He gets it down. There's no unsiege from Mine. That could be a mistake. He does pick off one of the lurkers, though. Oh, another great cloud. He takes down 3 out of the 5 tanks, and now Lurker... Oh, actually, Lurker does not get in position.
Okay, but now, like, Queen population is, like, higher than Terran. This is crazy.
Yeah, but Terran is still doing a good job consistently reinforcing across the map. He's now actually going to be able to siege this base. Zero finally finds that army that's on the left side. Now he's going to have potentially a huge flank. Just so much production for Queen is the issue. More Hydras, more Lurkers coming in, and there is that flank that I was talking about. This army is going to get swallowed up.
Yeah, mine is still like going with a healthy mineral only expansion, but I'm not really sure how long he can extend this.
Yeah, well, that fight, despite Queen still winning the fight, let's not get that wrong. Terran did kill a decent amount of Hydras and Lurkers, but like you said, the supply is really in favor of Zerg now, up almost 40 supply. There's so many Defilers just constantly being produced, and the vessel count has been reset over and over, including the tank count. Even more Lurkers being morphed in the middle of the map, and there it is. GG comes out, and Queen looking like a monster.
Was a first convincing game for Queen, I'm not gonna lie. Mine looked so shaky in the early game. He actually recovered a bit in the late game, but I mean the disaster was already done.
Yeah, once the stem timing not only didn't work, but also lost basically the entirety of his army, and then the 4-lane counterattack, you knew that Queen was going to run away with it. You just can't give pros any type of opening like that. You can't let them get away with just a tiny counterattack that does so much damage. So it was nice recovery, like you said, but in the end, Queen just a little bit too strong. I did like the vessel control from Mind. He was consistently irradiating Lurkers and Defilers nonstop, but once those plagues came in, you saw how quickly that vessel count got erased.
By the way, props to Queen, because I'm pretty sure Mine wasn't expecting a build like that. I wasn't expecting a build like that.
I wasn't either. I thought for sure we're going to see 2 hatch, but it ended up being that big macro, 3 hatch into tons of macro hatches. You can see that the tank count's pretty decent, and even supplies are pretty decent for Mine, but it's just so hard to attack into Hydra, Lurker, Defiler, even in small numbers. Like, they get down a single Dark Swarm, and you're in trouble, and it all falls apart right here. This small army just kills a third base, basically for what? 5 Hydras, 2 Lurkers, and a single Defiler. It's like a minimal commitment and gets so much damage done.
I asked myself if there would be a difference if we put some firebats on such bunkers and maybe repair just to save more time. I don't know.
Yeah, firebats, if the Lurkers ever just overextend slightly, then yeah, you can kill them. And I found this part hilarious where he plagued the firebats. Watch how many hits these firebats get. What? Did you even see a single hit shot?
I think he killed maybe 1 Zergling.
Yeah, I think he killed 1 Zergling for 8 or 9 firebats.
Yeah, that was not a really like I'm not going to call it bad, but it was not really like something that like he benefit from. Yeah, and worked out for mine. He needed to win this map.
Yeah, especially now that we're going into the weird 176. We'll be going into a break, and we'll be back with our second game of the series in just a couple minutes. Okay, we are back. We have Queen up 1-0 in the series, and it is his map pick now. We've got 76, so we're going to get a Terran versus Zerg, and that's going to be very exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially after the first game that map loses his map, his pick. I really ask myself what is mine actually going to do on this map, actually changing plans or just sticking to it, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. You know, I was thinking to myself, if you're not going to play Wraith opener, which I don't think of Mind as a Wraith type of player, well, maybe something like a tank push with Marine Medic could be good, but you got to float your factory down. Like, you can't just build a factory in your main and, get them down the ramp. So, curious what the build is going to be. It's going to be one of our few times where we're actually going to get to see a Terran versus Zerg on here. And based on the first game, I think that we're probably just going to see normal play from Queen, take another base, maybe 2 hatch this time instead of 3 hatch. We'll see, though. Players are ready. Let's get into it. Okay, in the top left, our red Terran, it is Mind. And in the top right, our blue Zerg, it is Queen. And I totally forgot about this dynamic again, the close mineral, so the build orders are going to be sped up quite considerably.
Yeah, I have seen certain players because of this mechanic, like going 9 hatchery.
Yeah. We may see that from Queen here. Remember, he did go for the 11 hatch, and if he thinks Mind may go for something aggressive, he may put down that 9 hatch like you said, and that is going to be a fort, or I guess maybe like a 9 CC or something from him, potentially. Nope, depot down there. Didn't we see somebody's drone get stuck there the other day? Okay, there we go.
I think he did. I think someone did it in purpose to micro the grace. Was that the case?
Yeah, it was. I do remember that now, but I was worried that drone wasn't going to get through, but now that I see that the minerals are there to help you boost down there in the initial stages of the game, I don't think you get stuck in the early stages, but later on, that is a place where you can get the worker stuck, and we do have what is probably going to be the fast command center down there, I think. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think either player is going to be aggressive, Nyoken. This is looking a lot of what the player style was talking about with the mass mutants against mass Valkyries.
Yeah, it could definitely be the case because Zerg is going to get 3 gases. They're going to be able to pump out so much stuff, but so is Terran. Terran's going to have access to 3 gas, and as a Terran player, if I can have 3 gases on 2 bases, I don't really need to expand again. Like, that's fantastic. The mineral only is also right there too for him at the natural, so I really want to see Mind abuse the fact that he's going to have so much gas. I want to see a mech play, but the problem with that is how do you get your stuff down to the low ground? That's what I always find interesting about this map, is because of that ramp, how effective could mech actually be? So we do have the racks going down. We do have gas coming in from Mind. It's like a 220 gas. So this could be the Valkyrie opener that you were talking about.
Yeah, and if that is the case, Zerg is going to need like lot of gas actually. Like 3 is actually not good enough. Like he needs to take like the other mains as well. He needs to defend all of that.
We do have the drone coming in. He does get in though, and he doesn't actually check the main. So he does see that, okay, this guy did go fast command center, but he doesn't actually confirm the gas timing. I guess 76 is such a weird map, he can probably suspect that, hey, this is probably not 2 racks. But for now, he's kind of going to have to guess on what this actually is. We do have the factory coming in. Command center is done now. Hatchery is done now.
By the way, because the expansions are so isolated, it's going to be important that Terran doesn't save on turrets, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to be on top of his game, and because that's an island, like you said, If he doesn't have any turrets there, he has no way to reinforce. So now that I'm thinking about it, with it being isolated, this has to be Valkyrie. It can't be Goliath, because how can you actually get the units over there to defend? So probably going to be the starport coming down in just a second, and Valkyrie play is very meta, so mine should be comfortable playing this.
I'm tripping here, or is that double there?
That is double lair, and it's going to be Hydra drop or Hydra lurker speed drop. I don't know about this though. Will the Valkyries, like, there's going to be some Valkyries out, but at the same time, oh, maybe not. Is this 2-port?
Well, you need starports to make Valkyries, like, okay. Is this like 2 ports?
I think it's
making.
I think it's 2-port.
Is it making
Wraith.
harmony?
I think it's 2-port Wraith. Like, Valkyries are incredibly expensive. Well, maybe not. There's the armory right there, I think.
Yeah, it's mass Valkyries. That's the play style. That's actually the play style. Mass Valkyries.
All right. Well, 2 starport Valkyrie. I'm not sure I've seen that before. That's a big investment. Now I'm thinking, like, okay, he's gonna murder, obviously. Well, there's a Wraith. I think the Wraith is just to scout first, but he's gonna have a lot of air. But will he have enough air to actually keep the Overlords back? Because all it takes is 1 lurker getting in. Because there's no academy. There's really not a lot of damage on the ground. I think there's 2 Marines, and that's it.
I mean, Nyoken, if Zero actually like drops 2 lurkers in the main, that's it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, there's just nothing to see it. This is going to be quite epic. If the Valkyries can find the Overlords, then mine will be fine. But if he doesn't, he is in big time trouble. And already Hydras have been loaded up.
What is going on?
Oh, is he just attacking the front? I guess you could also do that. Terran literally has 2 Marines, and that's it.
You needed to make drop for that?
Oh, he sees speed on the Overlord. Now, I don't know if that's just normal on 76, because you know Wraith and Valkyries are going to be common. But now he knows that this is definitely not a common build, because there are 8 Hydras coming my way.
I mean, I think that expansion is actually like that.
I think it could be also, but there are 2 Wraith. He missed the Overlords. They're going straight to the natural. Oh, he caught it. Oh my gosh, this is so close. That was a clutch catch on the Overlord. So for now, Zerg actually has to back up.
Wow, Nyoken, I'm so confused now, because the funny part is that if he actually gets the Overlords in the main, this is devastating. But if the game continues like this, he's in so much trouble.
Yeah, he is in trouble, but he finds the sweet spot. And this is 3 Overlords, so there's like 10 Hydras in here. And he can also elevator the other ones in. The turret falls there. Oh, there's nothing in the bunker! He has a bunker and it's not loaded up! Dude, he doesn't realize there's nothing in there. He thought he loaded it, and he didn't. Well, the Hydras actually did quite a lot of damage. They killed a lot of SCVs, but the SCVs killed a decent amount of the Hydras too. However, mine does hold with very little stuff. Like, none of the Wraith died, so he can actually go for a counterattack with them and start pumping or start popping some of the Overlords.
And that repair technology actually so strong.
How many rates is this? 4? 3? There is a tank still alive, so that's a lot of DPS, but Zerg is all in with this. Like, this is a massive all-in. You can see he's down 20 supply now, despite dealing that much damage. There's no drones at the natural. And just now, he's trying to transition out of it, putting down a 3rd hatch.
Yeah, I don't really see, how do you transition from this anyway? Like, maybe some lurkers, because like there is no scan. That is actually like, can be devastating, some lurkers.
Yeah, that's what I actually thought the drop was going to be for, is like 2 lurkers plus 4 Hydras. Because like
you
said,
doing a drop ship? No, you did.
He's got a drop ship. Well, he's coming in for another drop, but there's 3 tanks here. This is not going to work. These Hydras need to get the hell out of here. Well, I think they do. Almost pop a tank. Oh, Wraith dies. Oh, that Hydra's stuck in the back, but that is going to be a lot of lost Hydras there, 8
So
for...
drops coming to
is there?
mine expansion.
Oh man, he doesn't have... Oh, that Overlord did not unload. So actually, there's not that many Hydras that unloaded. SCVs and tanks can kill this. Here comes that dropship. And the tanks should be able to hold this. Not able to really focus down much other than a few SCVs, but Queen is doing a good job to make it wild, I guess. But unfortunately, lose that Overlord. Supply blocked it, so he's struggling to actually lose his larva.
Yeah, it's to my surprise, like now my position is so solid. I mean, what can Queen do anymore? Like, I think he's super exposed. Like, he doesn't even have hive to connect his island, so like I guess he can use like overlords. But if he doesn't have overlords in the main, how he actually defends his expansion?
Yeah, Zerg's in an awkward spot. You can see he's floating a lot of gas too, and just now saturating his natural, so he's in trouble. If mine can get, I think, 3 dropships and drop top middle, that could be like a killing blow to that base. We do see 1 dropship out. We do have the science facility coming in, but with just 1 dropship, I don't think he can really do much damage. Now Queen, I guess mid-right got scanned or something, because he resituated the drone to bottom right, and he's actually going to take another main.
Yeah. Did mine miss that overlord? I think he did. But I mean, by now there are scans, turrets in place. I don't think like darkers are anymore like a threat to mine.
Yeah, I think the threat came and gone. Oh, well, as we say that, there's the first lurker, and the Overlord dies. Oh man, this is completely backfiring for Queen. And unfortunately, wow, that has 12 tanks? Jeez, that is a hero tank.
Yeah, more draw chips. So, I mean, now 2 draw chips. Oh, luckily for Queen, he's going to see this. But sadly for him, does he have units to defend?
It's going to be close. I think both players are going to be able to unload the entire army, so it's going to be a micro battle here. I'm actually surprised that Queen didn't load up his drone. Okay, now he's going to load up. There's the stem. Okay, Hydra's on load, but these are split up Marines. Really good focus fire from Mind, and this base got blasted.
Well, and Nyoken like start losing a base like this. Oh, he said he's on 1 base right now. I think the game, yeah. GG.
Yep, there it is. GG comes out, and we see the first reaction to Mind. He said, "No, sir, you're not gonna kill me with that drop play. I'm too good for that."
I think he actually smelled he was close to die in that game.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the Marines like outside the bunker, like he was like fighting the army on top. I was like, my God, this guy is so dead now. But now he actually holds.
Yeah, those SCVs, I think, were actually the difference maker. The Hydras, when they were pinned against the wall, the SCVs just did so much damage. The Hydras could never run away. And that, I think, actually saved the game for mine. Because like you said, nothing in the bunker. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my God, not like this, man. You had great defense with the bunker, but you just got to have actual units in there. But really good crisis management there. Also catching the first Overlord as it tried to go into the natural was amazing for Mind. And he needed that victory, because going down 2-0 versus an ASL champion, you'd be in big trouble. But now score is tied up 1-1. And we're going to get a look at what I was talking about. Watch these SCVs. Watch how they don't let the Hydras ever move at all. Well, I think so. I think if I remember correctly, here they go. These Hydras can't escape anymore, and they just take so much damage to the SCVs.
Now that I see this, I don't think he forgot to put the Marines in the bunker. It was in purpose, actually.
It could have been. You know, there was so much going on. You can't be focused on everything, but those SCVs did work. And what I thought was going to be a lot of SCV kills for those Hydras, if you look at the actual worker count there, it was 31-18 versus a Zerg that's only on 2 hatches that's committing really hard to Hydra lurkers or Hydras and drops. So clutch defense there. And that gets a point on the board for mine. And now it's going to be back on his map pick. What was the next map? I think it's Vermeer.
Honestly, I don't remember. But yeah, 1-1. Something I wanted to mention is that Queen really put in the mind games here with the crazy builds.
Yeah, as I was watching it, I'm like looking at the player name. I'm like, wait a minute, is this Shine? This is not a build that I expect to see from Queen. Like I don't think I've ever seen him play that type of style. But yeah, the mind games are in full force. Unfortunately, backfired that time. The defense was impeccable. And match 3 is going to be Vermeer, so we'll be back on a standard map. But of course, we've got our Hot 6 commercial first before we go into that game.
Yeah, Vermeer is a more standard map. I don't really expect anything crazy, to be honest. I feel like we are going to see the real macro battle between these guys and who is really on top of his game on Vermeer. I think that is going to be the case.
Well, Queen had a really good game on Sylphid with the 3-hatch play, and Vermeer, you can also take a third base, almost anywhere, whether it's a middle base, another main, the low ground, or the natural at another main. Do you think we'll see 3-hatch again, or do you think it'll be the 2.5 hatch?
Well, the problem I see is that on Sylphid he took a close suspension, and on Vermeer they're not a close suspension that has high ground to defend the way he did. So that changed quite a bit the play style.
That is true. So I guess probably just going to see a normal opener 2-hatch or 2.5 hatch. I really want to see that play because that's what I mostly face on the ladder. I'd like to see the pros pull it out in the ASL. And we've got a lot of Queen fans right there. That guy's rooting for Queen right there. And as far as Mind, I want to see him pull out that build he pulled on Largo versus Hero, which was the 4 racks into mass vessels, because it looked really punishing. Like he did a really good job to keep his army together all the time. His macro was on point, and Vermeer is a map where you can get 3 or 4 bases quite easily. And clearly, every time we see Mind play, like after it gets to 10 minutes or something, he's intending to take bases. Like he's not someone like Rush that puts down 7 barracks and just tries to end the game. So I would like to see that from him.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like Vermeer is such a big map. Like if I'm honest with you, I would like to see a mech transition on a map like Vermeer.
Well, secretly, that is what I also want to see, because I actually think that's the counter to the Hydra Lurker Defiler. Every other type of play that I see, unless you're nailing your irradiates on the Defilers, it's just so tough to play against. So I would love to see the mech switch, but I don't think I've ever seen a pro player go for the mech switch, except for Mong, which was either last season or the season before. And ironically, I think that was also on Vermeer.
Yeah, Mong try actually, like, but it was such a disaster against Shine on Heartbreak.
Oh yeah.
Sadly he lose all his bio with a lurker hold, and then like he was caught in this transition of going to make. But anyway, I think you are right that I don't think Mines he plays mech transition so often, so it's probably going to be such a classic game of a lot of vessels, maybe BC's transition, and maybe drop chips. I don't know. So some kind of late game with 3 starports, mass production, and maybe many bases, and trying to trade that way. But when against someone like Queen, that can be so scary to play.
Oh yeah, especially versus someone that just has the macro potential that he has, going on to 8 hatches on Sylphid like he did. We're going into a break, and we'll be back with Vermeer in just a moment. Okay, we are back. Series is tied 1-1. Clutch defense from Mine got the victory in game 2. And now we're going to be going into a big map Vermeer. Really hoping to see some big macro from Queen. He used that macro to perfection on Sylphid.
Yeah, Vermeer is such a classic map. Is one of these maps like Polypoid, Fighting Spirit even, Sacred Breakers.
Yep.
One of these classic maps. That sometimes they bring these amazing macro games that people love to watch.
Yeah, you know, every season of Ladder I have hopes that Fighting Spirit will be removed, and I think they could replace it with Vermeer or Polypoid. Like, those are just so standard. There's nothing unusual about them. They should really consider that, but yeah, I agree. Vermeer, just the classic map, and actually fans seem to think that Queen is just barely going to win here. 56% to 44%, so clearly a lot of support for also for Mind.
Well, so far it's 50-50 to be honest. I'm going to tell you something that when I saw what happened in the first game, the first minutes, I thought we will see like a quick 3-0 and go home. I don't see that's the case anymore.
No, you don't think so? You think Mind's got a fighting shot here versus two-time ASL champ Queen?
I think we are going to see a long series, Nyoken. I think this guy, like winning the way he won the last game, like I mean, he's regained from that, and now he's locked in.
Well, I hope we can get to game 5 because Mine looked really good the one game we saw him play on Retro Terran versus Zerg. He was all over the place. Macro was on point. Irradiates were on point. The drops were drawing Zerg out of position consistently. So I'm hoping we can get there. It is going to be our third map. We are on Vermeer, as you stated, the classic one. And we're just waiting to get into it, man.
I'm nervous. I'm not a player.
Nervous for Queen?
Yeah, no. Overall, this is a competition. I honestly, I don't have like a huge preference here. I wish Ser to win, yes, but I first of all I want to watch good games.
Heck yeah, and I always like to see old timers come back and prove that they can still do it, man. We haven't seen Mine in such a long time. Regardless of whether he wins the series, I agree. I just want to see some good games. And in the top left, we do have the mastermind himself. It is Mind. And in the bottom left, this man, our Zerg. It is Queen. And we do have a vertical spawns here, so it's going to be an instant scout for Queen. And also, I think this is a good spawn for Zerg because we're going to have direct access with the Meadow harassment onto the natural.
Yeah, by the way, I wanted to mention about the good games is that we've been so lucky. This ASL, like if you think about it, there has been so many great games. There is not been a single game I was like disappointed or anything, to be honest.
I agree with that. We've seen all types of builds. What did we see? We saw a 5 pool from Hahn in like the round of 24. We saw Action Massling yesterday. We had the crazy out-of-control Nemesis game. We, of course, had the 76 game, Light versus the Best. There's been so many epic games and so many upsets. I still find it so funny that Royal got the group that he wanted and got absolutely crushed. He didn't even win a single game.
Yeah, man. He got eliminated after being a champion. Jesus. It takes so hard, it takes so much effort to be a champion, Nyoken. You know, like there is this F1 pilot, I don't know if you know him, he's called Rosberg. And he was competing with his teammate for the championship for 3 seasons. And then he actually gave all, he fought against his friends, he didn't talk to anyone, he just like focus so much that he finally won his championship, and then he quit after the season. That's it, that's my career.
Really?
I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm done with this. Because he realized what actually took to him to get to that spot to win, and he didn't want to repeat that.
Yeah, it takes so much effort to just reach the top of your sport, whether you even win or not. It's just an insane effort. Like every top player knows that in their respective sport. So I mean, props to him. He got what he wanted, and he got out of there at the right time. He knew it wasn't worth the effort to him, and well, he accomplished his goal, and that's.
So imagine Queen that I did it 2 times. That is so insane.
Yeah, he's done it twice, and he's been playing this game, like 20 years. So just real props to him. Yeah, and we've talked about this off stream. Like, it's so funny to me that the same players are in ASL every single time. Like, the only couple players that are new to ASL, at least for me, I'm thinking about going back to OSL and MSL. Is like Soma was not playing in those days, Sins was not playing in those days, but everybody else, or maybe YSC, pretty much everybody.
Mini, maybe?
Well, yeah, Mini, and okay, I guess I am wrong. Mini and Royal and Rush and those types of players actually weren't at that level yet, but generally, a lot of the people you see in ASL, you also saw in OSL and MSL, 15 years ago.
By the way, Nyoken, we have this build of engineering base plus 1 attack. And looks like Queen is doing the 2.5 hatchery.
Yep, I did notice that gas timing for Queen. It was like a 215 gas. And as you said, this is...
What is going on with this Barrack, Nyoken?
He has so few units that he wants to wall off here. I think that's a smart move, and also, with the Overlord seeing the racks there, the Overlord may actually think that, is this guy going Valkyrie? Like, why is this racks here? So this could also be a mind game, but now with more Marines being built, maybe not. The Overlord does get pushed back a little bit, but so far, this is looking like what I was talking about. This could be a 3 or 4 racks plus 1 timing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's missing a lot of Marines, right?
Yeah, right now he just doesn't have that much, so I expect to see the barracks start flooding pretty soon. He did rush Academy also, so he's going to have fast stim and range, so that's going to be great for him, but definitely not going to have any move-out potential with 1 barracks.
See, if it was Jadon, because Jadon is like a very aggressive Zerg, and see something like this, I will probably expect like a flood of Zerglings trying to punish this.
Yeah, he definitely could have gone for it. I did like Mine's spread of the Marines. He had 3 in the mineral line, he had like 4 by the barracks, so there wasn't really a great angle to attack. And also that barracks is completely tight at the top side. So for now, Mine is safe, but every time I do see Marines move out like this with no stem, with 1 racks, even if they just go out slightly, I do get worried because he's in the dark. Like, there could have been, like, for example, Action yesterday just building masslings randomly. Like, he could have been running into a disaster. Now, interesting enough, we do have Mine actually going into a fast factory again.
Yeah, isn't this like way too risky?
This is an extremely fast factory. This is like 5-10 factory. His unit count is extremely low, so he's going to be heavily relying on these turrets to make sure that his Marine count doesn't get reset.
Oh man, I really like, if Queen actually makes mutas from all these hatcheries, and he's actually start to harass, like, I can see like Mine being in trouble. So I don't think at all he has the numbers.
Well, he does have a lot of turrets set up at his natural, and I don't think the mutas will be able to get that much damage done because of how the turrets are placed. But as I say that, of course, the mutas come in and do snipe a couple of SCVs instantly. Look at this, like I don't know how you can get the turrets any better, and he still loses 3 SCVs pretty much for free. But I do like his streamlined build. The way it's unfolding, I think we could actually see a tank Valkyrie push.
He is losing a good amount of SCVs, and the funny part is like it doesn't seem like Mike can do too much about it.
Yeah, like I think the best thing that you can do is either move out, or if you don't have enough to move out, is maybe leave a medic in your mineral line and try and heal the SCVs. Other than that, you just have to accept your fate that the SCVs are going to die. Now, Terran does have +1 weapon, so the Marines do hit hard, but look at that bio ball. It's pretty tiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the numbers are so small that he's just risking to lose map control by doing this move.
Yeah, if he loses this bio ball, he's in massive trouble. And we know that Queen has a decent amount of lings sitting on that high ground. So I don't think he's going to let these Marines escape. I think he's intending to kill this in just a moment. He's trying to cut off reinforcements.
Yeah. Queen right now, what he's doing like really good is like forcing these stings that are wasting medic energy.
Okay, well here we go. Oh, mine does not sync up his army together. However, he does stem there in time, and actually he does get them together with minimal losses. And behind this, there is an add-on onto the factory, by the way. So this is going to be Vessel Factory, I think. Yep, there it is. 4 racks, tank vessel push. And back in Queen's Main, we did see Hydrogen, but I didn't see Queen's Nest. So this is going to be a late defiler. This is going to be a hard push to stop.
You can tell mine is in good shape because I have seen Terrans with way more army like than that, losing it and being in huge trouble. So far so good for mine.
Oh my gosh, the control on the Marines were fantastic. He only lost 1 out of the 6. And yeah, Terran's in a great spot. If he just recognizes that Zerg, maybe all in is not the right word, but if he recognizes Zerg is building this amount of lings, if he just keeps pumping out those Marines, gets like 3 groups of bio, he's going to easily overrun this. Oh no, this was a mistake.
Oh my god, he's going for it.
Yeah, he's running in here, and these lings are going to trade decently well. They got a couple, or the Muta's got a couple of kills.
I mean, mine probably knows the hive timing because he's like being really patient about it. He's just like saving his army and, you know, like getting the. It's so old school, but it's like these 3 siege tanks plus vessel timing.
Yeah, this is literally the classic. Back in the 2005 to 2010 era, you saw this all the time. The 3 racks, 4 racks, 2 tank or 3 tank vessel push, and this is really hard to stop unless you've got defilers out. So Zero, he's gonna have to come up with something special because right now I don't even know, does he have lurkers? Like, I see Hydras there, but I don't see any lurkers anywhere.
Yeah, I don't like, even with lurkers, like if you don't have like 10 lurkers right now, I honestly don't know what.
Oh my god.
What are lurkers good for?
Oh my gosh, and that irradiate did so much damage, softened up the mutas a lot, and now we have 2 or 3 tanks with a huge bio ball coming across the map. Now this is what you call desperation, when Zerg is building 3 Sunkens just to stall out this single tank or single vessel timing.
That vessel is a bit loud of HP, and while he's sniping the second one, okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's a great pickoff. That's going to eliminate one of the irradiates, but he did take a lot of damage on his mutas to do that. Oh, the Marine stem in. Can he pop a lurker? He does, but he's going to lose a lot of bio here.
He doesn't need to commit like this.
Oh.
He has tanks.
Oh, he almost lost that vessel. He cannot lose the vessel, especially not the first 2. He's got Defiler coming, but Consume is nowhere near done. Maybe halfway.
No, Consume is really far. Mine is playing a really good game of pressure here. I'm really curious if he's going to spend behind this because it's like the perfect moment.
He needs to get that vessel. He needs to get rid of it. Oh, good bait with the Marines. A lurker died to focus fire, but there's 6 more that morph. And that means, oh, and he gets the vessel, and that may mean that the push is going to end pretty soon. But for now, he's going to continue going for it. There's no Defiler still, so Lurker's going to be forced to engage. There it is. It just pops out. Is there Consume? Still no Consume.
There is no Consume. I think the hatchery is exposed. Oh, well.
Oh, he got it just barely in time. And with, oh, but there's a drop in bottom right at the same time. But there was luckily some lings in position, but the Nidus died. Or did it never complete? Okay, the bottom right got breached, and that means that this base is gonna die. There's not enough mutas left over to actually go and save this, so he kills bottom right while also pushing the natural.
Yeah, mine with really good times right now. The road chip, the aggression in the front, and I mean, it's not like he's like all in anyway. Like he's going to spend right now. I saw that the CB click into the tier base.
This is absolute perfection from Mind. He does end up saving one of the tanks, so this push does continue to be annoying. Bottom right, can it be saved? There's a single lurker here. The Marines are actually not focus firing the hatchery. Okay, now he moves it into position. Oh, another drop coming in, so this should seal the deal. Oh, is it Boxer? Oh, is it Boxer? Look at the moves! He lit. Oh, I thought Boxer was making a reappearance, but it doesn't matter. GG comes out, and it's 2-1 for Mind.
Was enough to Queen to GG after seeing that move.
Yeah. Oh man, this 3 racks, 4 racks opener into the push into drops is just really killer from Mind. He's multitasking really well. He's evaluating the situation very well with his scans, and he's just on top of his TVZ.
I want to give props to him for like holding so well with the initial bio, because like I like honestly I thought Queen would be like able to clean that so easy, but this guy somehow he actually micro that situation so well. He never overextended, never pushed more than he needed to, and yeah, man, like he did such a good job in just like defending the initial waves from Queen.
Yeah, it was really well done. And you know, this push, after the first irradiate went off and he got a lot of damage done on the mutas, I was worried after the second vessel got popped and this one that gets popped a few seconds later, because then there's no counter to the Defiler. I thought for sure that this push was going to be done, but the dropship, I did not see that coming at all. In fact, I didn't even see it move across the mini-map, but it really caught Queen off guard. Queen had a decent defense actually at bottom right, but just barely, not enough. Yeah, right there, right when that vessel dies, I'm like, oh man, well, now what are you going to do when the Defiler pops? But he still continued to push the issue. I liked how he kept pushing as he was dropping, because if you lit up pressure, then all of a sudden this drop at bottom right, Queen's going to, you know, realize that's going on and put more focus there, and I think he could have defended it.
It's not actually if Queen wasn't expecting a timing like this with the tanks.
Well, the factory was so fast that, yeah, he may not have been expecting it at all. Like, it was fast +1. He may have been expecting it to be the 4 racks like we saw in Largo versus Hero, and I guess it just caught him off guard, but it was a really slick timing from Mind, and now he is 1 game away, and we're going to be going into Dark Origin as our 4th map.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is just starting, because I'm pretty sure Queen is taking next game.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Eonzerg says we're going to game 5, but first we're going into a break, and then we'll be back with game 4. we've got game 4 coming up next, as you all saw on our previous screen. 4th map is going to be Dark Origin, and just like in all the rest of the ASL Season 15 series, this one is really delivering. We've had crazy builds from Queen right there. We've had Stellar Macro from Mine right there with a slick push and drop. And he's got our ASL champ on the ropes.
Yeah, Nyoken. I was thinking, man, like, still Queen being one game away from elimination, right? Every single little mistake, every tiny mistake, like everything matters so much. Like even the drone split matters so much right now for this guy.
Yeah, those tiny optimizations really do make a big deal in 2023. So he's got to be on top of his game here. Remember, he built a lot of mutilings, and that did not help him at all last game. Like, he never really had great engagements, and that could have stalled his hive timing just slightly, which allowed Mind to get that victory. There was so much pressure with that tank push. It caught Queen off guard when there was a drop at bottom right. And our players are ready, so let's get into potentially our last game of the day. Okay, in the top left, our Terran player, it is Mind. And in the bottom right, looking to avoid elimination, it is Queen.
Yes, sir. Queen. I mean, this map, honestly, is going to be better for him. Those bridges are going to be helpful to deal with the bio ball. Unless we obviously we see a. Oh no.
It's an 8-Rax, man.
Oh no.
It could be BBS actually, because this is a really fast SCV. Oh, do it.
It's very fast, but I think it's because he wants to proceed it.
Yeah, he wants to hide it. Oh, I would love it. How killer would it be if in game 4, potentially the game deciding map, you go for the BBS? Right now, because there's no additional SCV being sent, I think this is just an 8-Rax. Yeah, it's just a single Rax, but this is going to be the first time all series that we're going to have a really aggressive opener from either side.
Oh my god, Nyoken, this is so stressful right now. Oh my god, like this guy actually proceeding that barrack and then making one in the main. Oh my god.
You think it's gonna be another Rax in the main? Like this is extremely far forward. I don't know if you can you afford a second Rax in the main? Like I think he may actually go into factory and just try and buy time with the pressure to get a vulture out. We'll see though.
Oh really?
Well, I don't know, because it's just very rare that I see somebody proxy this far out on the map with an 8-Rax. Usually they put it like by their natural, right? And they create some type of wall.
Oh, he's doing affinity, so you're right.
Yeah, there's the gas, and okay, we've got the 2-minute pull, so everything's very normal. And SCV, you know, I always do pay attention to the angle the SCV comes in. I don't think it came in from an unusual angle, so for now, Queen in the dark. He has no idea that this 8-Rax is coming at all. Oh, Marine's gonna get shown to the Overlord. Oh, the Overlord. Oh, okay, wow, he just sends it instantly.
Was that a mistake, or is it like, well, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think if he built a bunker near the minerals, like the top left minerals, that could be like a semi-wall from him. But
okay, I understand. He actually, he wants to get this drone spooled because he's like doing a factory behind it.
Yeah, he's not bunkering, so that is a factory, as I stated. And Queen should know, like, hey man, you went for an 8-Rax and you didn't bunker. That means that this has to be a factory follow-up. However, the Marine's getting the sweet spot, and now I would love the bunker. Build it. Oh, Queen, you're in trouble, man. Did he drone? No. Was that a drone cycle?
He droned. He actually droned.
Oh, man. Okay, finally the lings are coming out. So we've got 6 lings, but this bunker is going to complete. Well, Marines are... What are they doing? Okay. I thought they were all going to die, but doesn't actually get picked off. well, this is a micro battle right here. Oh no. Oh, that was a great catch by Queen. He easily shuts this down. And the Sunken even helps versus the Vulture. So I would say job well done from Queen, but this is actually Wraith Eonzerg. But the Overlord spots it.
It's such a tricky game so far. But we have Lair for Queen. No, we don't have Lair yet.
I think this could be a Ling Flood. You've got a guy with his with a Rax floated. He's going one fact, one port. It's already hard enough to deal with Lings just in general. But now with like no Marines, no SimCity at all, this is gonna be a pretty tough. But actually, those Lings at the bottom side, I thought may try and knock down the building back there, but not going to be the case. He is just making sure that a Vulture doesn't pop out through those minerals.
Yeah, there is many vultures actually. So, like, I don't think Ling is really an option anymore. But I'm curious about like my build. What it's gonna be like? Just Grace to kill Overlords. Like, see a machine shop as well. Does that mean like mines or what is it? Speed?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the Wraith to clear out vision and then go mines. I think it would be just suicide if he goes speed here. It could be though, like he could go for it, but I feel like if Queen for whatever reason just built like 6 Hydras and you have speed, well, you're in big time trouble. So I'm hoping that it is mines. We may actually have a drop too. So that could be fantastic. Use all your mines and then go for a drop follow-up, because the Spires, I think, just got put down right now.
I'm looking at the Queen Eco and, well, they're only showing the natural, so I don't know if he has that amount of drones in the main. Like, so far it looks good to me. Actually, his Eco looks really good and mine's still on one base.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for mine for sure with the low econ, but this is going to be a drop, and the upgrade is completed for Terran, so I don't see any mines anywhere, and that does make me a little bit worried that this was speed. Speed is obviously great, but I mean that's all of his defense right there is his vultures, and it was speed, by the way. So he is just going to suicide these vultures in here and try and catch Zerg mid transition into Mutalisk.
Yeah, but there are Hydra speed as well, so like I feel like Queen is ready for this, like not expecting too much damage coming from the drop.
Yeah, I also think he's going to be ready for this. The vultures come in now. You know, Wraith drop is an uncommon build, so this could catch him off guard, but as I stated, because there's no mines, he has no idea where the Hydras are. And look at this, 4 vultures actually kill a Hydra, but that means that they're not getting into the main to actually do some harassment to the drones. Oh, this is a disaster. He loses 2 of the vultures, he only kills 1 Hydralisk, and there's Lings followed up.
Yeah. There are many Hydras coming actually to my base, and he only has 1 vulture. The bunker is not even close to complete. Mine's in trouble.
Yep, this is 3 Hydras. The Marine does not get into the barrack or into the bunker, and everything is falling apart for mine. Oh man, I think the idea was good, but the speed really backfiring here. No defense for the Hydras, like I said, and now Natural's been breached. We did have Wraith with Cloak, so maybe that could be a way he can get back in?
Cloak? Are you sure?
Yeah, he was upgrading Cloak. He may have canceled it. There it is. GG comes out. Not sure if it would have mattered because the Spire was done, and I didn't see any turrets in the main, so a Mutaswitch would have been a killing blow. But regardless, really good crisis control from Queen versus the 8 racks. He recognized what he was facing and took minimal losses.
Mine has to be disappointed about that game because he actually, and now that I see the game, he actually didn't expect to have this easy with the early game and the drones and the, you know, like he could place a bunker and just like go for the bunker rush and keep sending Marines. He actually didn't. He sent the barrack back.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation because you need the money to build the factory. But also, if you build like a 4th Marine, then you get supply blocked. So then you also need a depot, and the build order just starts spiraling into a weird situation. So I think what he did was okay. I just really wish he had gotten mines into this instead of speed, because exactly what I talked about unfolded here. If we just have not even that many hydras, but vultures just don't beat the hydras, and this is so heartbreaking because the dropship's right here. Like, the hydras are out of position. Could have gotten into the main. Even the lings just moved out of position, and he would have had an open drone line.
Yeah, with mines, he's not making this move for sure. Like, but again, I feel like honestly, he could make a solid bunker rush and then transition to factory. He was like trying to be so safe with the build that he didn't realize he could do so much damage with an actual bunker rush. Like, if he just send like 2 or 3 SCVs and keep sending Marines, there is no way Queen killing the bunker.
That is true. It would have been tough for Queen to deal with, especially because the bunker was in such a good spot. He could even get SCVs behind it, behind that mineral line, where he could have just repaired forever. But we'll never know, because that game is already over. And as you predicted, Eonzerg, we are going to get Game 5.
Yeah, man, I told you, we have a long series. But you know what? Quick games, because they're being like so far very intense games.
Yep, and I'm sure our last map is going to be equally intense. It is retro. We'll be going into a break, and then we'll be coming back with our final game of the day. And we are back, and we're about to get into our last game of the day. Series tied up 2-2. Really good counterplay from Queen in the last game, and now we're going to get into that retro game that I've been waiting for all day long.
Retro is the new fashion.
Hell yeah, it is.
Nyoken, you know that this guy mine, he comes from such a good legacy of Terrans in his team. We made folks. What Terran was in that team? Nada.
Flash?
No, Flash, no.
No, not Flash. Baby was in
Meadow, at some point he was in Baby, that he changed his nickname to TY.
Yep. I think Flash was a practice partner for We Made, or Pantech was their name back then. So all of the great Terrans, well, not all of the great Terrans, but a lot of the great Terrans were in that team. Of course, the other team being SK Telecom T1 with Fantasy, Boxer, I Love OOV, Kanata, players of those caliber.
Yeah. So many great Terrans. I don't remember. Did Canada actually won a championship?
Kanata? No, I don't think so. I think they were saying Kanata was like a practice monster, but as soon as he got on stage, like whether he was nervous or something, he just did not translate his skills in practice into actual, tournament settings.
Okay, man, these players, man, they feel it. I mean, we feel it, of course they are feeling it.
Yeah, game 5. Both players want to make it in, obviously, but mind, he hasn't been in the round of 4, I think, ever in ASL, so he really wants to get back or try and make a first time showing there. And also, he hasn't even been in ASL in quite a few seasons, so that would be quite the achievement if he was to place into at least the round of 4.
Indeed, and mine never made it to round of 4, but if I was him, I will be happy with this series. I think he has done a great job against a really hard opponent like Queen.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's been playing absolutely out of his mind this season. And we are into our final game. In the bottom left, we do have Mr. Mind. And in the top left, getting another vertical direct path into the natural expansion with his overlord, it is Queen. Well, Eonzerg,
yeah,
I don't think we're going to see an 8 racks or a BBS. I think that strategy is come and gone.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I don't expect at all any aggression. We're probably going to see the most classic game we have seen in this series.
Yep. I think that we may probably see a similar opener on Vermeer with the fast +1. Maybe not necessarily a super fast factory, but I think we're going to see something along those lines. Now, that SCV is late to go down to the natural, but he doesn't get punished that hard in terms of his depot timing, but it is going to be another wall off from him.
Yeah. Nyoken, I was thinking, like, in a series of best of 5, doing a game like this, a classic game of TBC, usually the Terran is the loser, right?
Are they? I don't remember.
I mean, I was thinking Iris against GG Play, for example.
Oh, Eonzerg, this is a 14cc.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was doing a wall.
It's going to be a wall with the 14cc. Now, luckily for Queen, he's got his overlord here, so he'll see it. Oh, but the 14cc is a little too late compared to the pool, so he can't go like 3 hatch before pool. Oh, he didn't see the overlord.
He didn't?
I don't think he saw. Okay, maybe he did. Look, that Overlord is just barely out of vision. Look at this. Okay, well, we do.
He saw it. He saw
Yeah,
it.
now he sees it. Okay, so he does expose himself, but there's no lings here, so that means that he knows that he didn't get early pulled. So already, mine's in a fantastic position. This was like a 220 gas, or 215 gas, something along those lines. So pretty normal opener. This is going to be the 2.5 hatch, as we've talked about.
It's a great build for sure, but you know what? That doesn't mean it's over for Queen at all. Game's just starting.
Yeah, this was a great mind game from mine. I think he recognized that, hey, you probably think it's unlikely that I'm going to 8 racks, so there's the chance of you going early pool is quite low, and he's right. This was a great build order counter for him. He is going to go into a fast gas, actually. So this is a 310 gas or so. This is, I would say, kind of middle of the road with a 14cc opener. Even though it's fast, this could be eBay. This could still be a really insanely fast stim timing. It could be fast factory. I think it's actually going to be eBay, but I think he has the ability to do all 3 of those.
Yeah, there is a big chance it could be an eBay game. Especially the way he... Yeah, there is an eBay. Especially the way he played on Vermeer without the style. Well, now that is supposed to be more powerful because mine has more resources to spend.
Yeah, he's gonna have like 4 additional SCVs or something along those lines, and this is his bread and butter build. Like, this is the build that he's had so much success with, whether it's versus Hero or whether it's the Vermeer game versus Queen. I feel like this is what you got to go for in Game 5, and we do see a fast Academy follow-up with it too, so he's going to be rushing that stem and rushing that range.
I like that SCV, by the way, just checking that there is checking when he's going to make that tier expansion from the third player.
Yep, we remember Queen did take a close third base when he was playing on Sylphid, so I think that's a smart position to leave the SCV there. And the drone, I think that was a drone going to top right, so it is actually going to be a more normal third base.
Well, Queen, he has like a magic powers, because I have seen a difference early coming to that spot
Yeah.
and not finding it, but then a tier starting comes and find it.
Yeah, I don't know why he would rescout there, but it was good game sense, and he catches the SCV and didn't really show anything. In fact, the drone didn't get intercepted by the SCV either, so he doesn't know if there was a drone sent out to top right or if the drone was late coming to top middle or what the case was. But we do have the 4 racks plus 1, and this is pretty much identical to the Largo game we saw versus Hero, except obviously 14cc as the initial opener.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to repeat that play style of Mutas with the mass earning, so he's going to try to be more quick with lurkers.
Yeah, he did try the mass mutiling on Vermeer, and that did not work out at all, so I think that could be a good switch up going to the fast lurkers, or at least fast hive, one of those. We do have bunker coming in, securing those depots, so Muta's not going to be able to damage those that well. Turret's much easier to place at bottom left on Vermeer compared to top left, or bottom left retro compared to top left on Vermeer. So the Mutas I don't think are going to get much damage done on the SCV line. So really the only threat here is not having turrets up in your main. So that's why you see mine moving into position here.
-7 resources on turrets. You can say that. Look at this. Like, he's a prepare.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be busted. He knows that he has a build order that allows him to streamline his build. He doesn't want to give that away. Now he's going to move out with his +1 in just a second. Should be kicking in any moment now. And how many meters is this? 7? Okay, so it's still the magic number to one-shot SCVs and Marines. Oh, Overlord can't lose that. That would supply block Queen.
Overlord so far is safe.
For now, it doesn't get picked off. Now, I think this would be really hard to get up. So that's a smart move for mine to back off from now. +1 did just now kick in. Rain should be kicking in by now also. So this is a really powerful army for Mind. And we do see more Lings being built. So just like for Mir, he is relying heavily on this Muta-Ling combo to keep Mind at bay.
There are some issues now with this build, Nyoken, because Mind is actually on 4 barracks. That is a lot of production.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast compared to 3 racks. However, Queen did eliminate one of the medics, so there's only 2 right now. And we are going to see the tank Valkyrie push. There's the starport, and there is the armory coming in, and the factory has the add-on.
Been trying to find damage, man. So far, he's not really like getting anything.
Yeah, what did he kill? Like 1 SCV? He's killed maybe a couple Marines and 1 medic. Like you said, really not much damage done. However, did Mind overextend. This is a lot of Zerglings and Mutas, and he is just going to go for the counterattack. There is a few Marines in the bunker, though, but the Mutas or the Lings are into the main. I don't think there's enough for Queen to do much damage here. So, good attempt there, but in the end, not going to do much damage.
At least it's a good delay. Like,
yeah.
I feel like Mind was prepared to put pressure already, but now he does less. It's a step back for him, I guess.
Yeah, look at that control though. Like, he saves the Marines, but yes, this is a more streamlined hive timing. And this time around, I don't think the tank push is actually going to work unless he goes right now with just 1, which we did see this in previous ASLs. I remember Royal and Rush clutching victories with a push like this. This is so much bio. Were there lurkers? I think he's rushed hives so fast, there's still no lurkers here.
Oh, wait.
This is such a hard angle to come from. He really needs the Valkyrie to help him out if he's going to try and move up that ramp. The bio ball has been thinned out quite a bit. It's now like, well, maybe with reinforcements, about 2 groups? Yeah, it looks like 2 groups plus 2 tanks.
Man, I asked myself if he actually making Valkyries this time because of how little effective it was for them to make vessels on Vermeer.
Yeah, maybe. You know, I was thinking, how many different builds have we seen from Mind? It feels like every game he's played has been a different build. Like whether it's a tank push with Valkyries, tank push with vessels, whether there's even going to be tanks at all, whether it's going to be BBS or 8 racks. I mean, he has pulled out like 8 different build orders in our Terran versus Zerg games. But
he can lose these tanks. If he loses these tanks, and you can big trouble. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, perfect scan. The hold position lurkers would have been amazing. But that Valkyrie doing the Valkyrie dance gets off a lot of damage. Oh, but it's isolated now. Well, it did a lot of damage, so I still think that was decently worth, because the Mutas can't engage the Marines, that's for sure.
Sea's super exposed here.
Yeah, he is. Look at the Mutas, they're so hurt. It's so tough, and what did that survive with 6 health? The tank doesn't die. There's a huge difference between 1 tank and 2 tanks pushing through. The Marines are doing such a good job. The body blocking, the scans are fantastic. Look at him, he's focusing down these lurkers. There's not enough damage on these Mutas. That's another tank.
Even more Valkyries and Marines and tanks coming.
Oh, there is a tank here, but there's a lot of lurkers. So for now, maybe he can. Oh, there's the Valkyrie. Oh wow, there was Scourge in there. I didn't even see that. Where's the Defiler? Still needs that Defiler though.
Those lurkers are so low on HP.
There's still no Defiler. Yeah, they're super low. There's still no Defiler. That's an exposed tank now though. The Mutas, there's still 7 of them. They do have +1 weapon. He does not get the tank. There's no Defiler. That's a dead hatch. Now, unlike last game where the drop went across the map, there's no drop this time, so Zero doesn't have to worry about this, but he's just losing everything in the natural. Those lurkers are so far back. Finally, there's a Defiler to save the day for now, but look at how much minerals Queen has. He has absolutely no gas.
Yeah, you lose that natural. The Defiler is out, but the damage is so catastrophic. I don't even think he can. I mean, there is a huge wave of Terran coming, but there is no vessel.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there is vessel.
Yeah, there's only 1 though. Like, this was a heavy commitment to Valkyries. He built like 3 out of 1 starport, so he really doesn't have much irradiates at all. So for now, I think the game is going to stabilize, but clearly Mind's at a sizable advantage. However, I guess Queen's saved his drones because he has so much money. He's pumping out or he's building like 3 hatches at the same time, and in fact, he's taking his 4th base. Oh, there goes the Defiler. Now, mine cannot let...
You know what, Nyoken?
Oh, he missed it.
Queen is actually not out of this game at all.
Yeah, he's not. But that hold position lurker almost saved the game for Queen right there. However, it didn't get off the juicy shots that he was looking for, and now the 4th base is going to be denied. And I was about to say that, like, if the 4th base gets up, mine's in big trouble. But, oh, where's the Nidus? Is it connected? Is it connected? It doesn't seem like it's connected. There's nothing there, and it dies. The 3rd base is going to die. Look at Queen in his chair. It's over. And mind, he's going to knock out one of our previous ASL champions.
Man, what a clinic timing. I mean, what? Wow. Did he actually forget about the Nidus? I thought Nidus was connected to the main.
I think he did, because I saw the camera guy zoom in on the Nidus like, what, a minute ago? I guess he was so focused on rebuilding up his econ, you know, he killed the push, that he thought that he didn't need the Nidus connected, or he forgot about it. But oh my god,
he was taking that for expense for gas as well. Lurker were on hold, but the army actually survived.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, the lurker did not get off the spine shot that he was looking for. Like the Marines just barely were not in the correct position for the lurker shot to line up and kill everything. And mind, oh my gosh, he just he got very lucky with that attack at the end to end it.
He made such a clinic time into the natural. Like,
oh yeah,
I actually I saw it coming. Like, he will lose the hatchery for sure. But then like the fire comes, and like, wait a minute, like mine still is on 2 bases, not really like with an intention of spending. Like I can actually like see this holding, but for some reason like it just like when it's like, it's funny, all the cards just fall for Queen in a second.
Yeah, and this was a key moment where this tank doesn't die to the Muta shots. This is heartbreaking, because this is literally 1 shot away from it getting taken down. And 1 tank, like I said, is way different than 2 tanks. 2 tanks just have so much DPS. They can kill lurkers so easily. And now, like, the Mutas are so heavily damaged. They come in again. They take a lot of damage. He does manage to pick off both tanks, but, you know, he's having to focus on that instead of focusing on repositioning lurkers, getting his Defiler out.
Man, he made too much eco instead of like lurkers to hold this. Did he actually feel like 14cc like required him to be more greedy?
I don't know, but again, the Mutalings really didn't do much damage. Like the Mutas, yes, they did damage by themselves when Terran tried to engage on that ramp at mid left, but the Lings like really didn't do much damage at all. So it was kind of wasted supply, and Queen got punished. Man, this was such a clutch hold here to just not outright die with the Defiler coming in.
Jesus. What an ending, to be honest. I didn't see that coming at all.
I also didn't see that coming. Mind has really been surprising us today, or not today, this entire season. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, like he's done a different build every single game. There has never been a game where you know what he's going to do, because he's so varied in his play. And like you just pointed out at the end, there was a world where Queen could have came back, because if he holds like 1 or 2 attacks, Mind was not taking expansions. Like he was going into 6 or 7 barracks, and if you don't take expansions and Zerg gets, you know, their 3rd base resaturated, well, Queen could definitely come back from that scenario.
Especially he was doing a Valkyrie build, so he's missing so many bases that if the bases were connected, Queen will be able to defend with the fighters. Like Valkyrie can deal with that.
Yeah, there wasn't the critical mass of, you know, 8 vessels just irradiating you to death over and over and over. There would have been like, you know, obviously a few irradiates, but with so many hatcheries that were coming in for Queen near the end, he could have easily dealt with that. But unfortunately, that one night is not being connected, a moment or a lapse in judgment there cost queen the game, and he is out, man. And that means, you know, think about this, Eonzerg. We came into the season 12 Terrans. There's 2 left. We came into the round of 8. There's 5 Zergs, and only 2 of them can possibly get through. And so far, both of them at the top side have lost.
By the way, mine, welcome to semis. For the first time ever in the ASL, you are in holy ground.
Yeah, man, and he's playing so well. Like, clearly his Terran versus Zerg is top notch, but his TVP versus Bisu, like, he was on top of it also. There was no engagement that he took poorly versus Bisu. Like, he's always so good with his unit control. Like, watching him micro the Marines back versus the Mutas and the Lings in his main, always retreating to a fortified position, whether it's turrets or more Marines. Like, he's really on top of making the most out of all the units that he has.
And then when Nyoken, I just realized Best has his best shot to advance to an ASL final.
You would think so, because Best is so good versus Terran. He's got one right here, but Mind is playing so well that I don't think it's going to be an easy opponent to get through. But if
I'm not saying it's easy, but like, honestly his best shot.
Yeah, for sure. I agree that it's 100% his best shot, especially if JYJ, who's being a Terran versus Zerg killer, like, he already took down Queen also in the ASL 15. Like, if JYJ comes out of the bottom side bracket, Best could potentially only have to play Protoss versus Terran all the way.
Well, you're going so far already. You're eliminating Jadon, Nyoken. What are we doing here,
I'm just saying.
Are you kidding me? What? Man, let me stop you for a second. Are you kidding me?
I'm just
Wait, he already no, but wait, he actually eliminates Sorky. He eliminates Jadon. He eliminates Hero. What are we doing, Nyoken? I mean, what are we doing, Nyoken?
I'm just saying that we could have a scenario where Best plays Protoss versus Terran in the semis and in the finals. But, you know, even if Best faces off versus a Zerg, he clearly doesn't die in the mid game. He proved that yesterday versus Action, where even when Action had a massive lead, it doesn't matter. Like, the Maelstroms were so clutch. He was getting so much value. It seems like all Best has to do in Protoss versus Zerg is not die to Hydra timings, and he's golden going into the late game.
Yeah, man, but I mean, that guy PBT, Nyoken, is something else.
Oh yeah, he's the man. His macro is so crazy. And, you know, actually, he comes up with a lot of interesting builds too. Like, I remember watching him playing, I don't know, for a few months playing D-Web, kind of similar to how Bonneth plays. He comes up with all types of weird strategies, and he makes them work. Like, he's not just gateway man, but of course he is known for the big macro play.
Do we have like a score of mine against Best? Let me check this.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think I would have to go to the Spawnbong site to actually get some stats. We were talking about it yesterday. Best had Action's number. Action put up a really good fight yesterday, but in the end,
oh my god, Nyoken, it's terrible.
Uh-oh.
Well, at least on Wikipedia, okay?
Okay, hit me with it.
It's 8 against 18.
For Mind? Mind's winning that 18-8?
No, he's losing that.
Okay. That's gonna be a tough matchup for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be like, honestly, Best has his best shot to reach a final. Luckily for us, Nyoken, we have Jadon, Sulky, Hero, and even JYJ to stop the guy.
Yeah, still a lot of strong Zergs at the bottom side of the bracket. What's not tomorrow's match, but the third match? It's a Zerg versus Zerg, right?
Yeah, Jadon against Hero. It's going to be the 10. That is a Monday.
Yep. It's going to be same time next week. So, Zerg versus Zerg. We've got Jadong there. We got JVZ. You think he can take down his opponent?
I mean, if you ask me, Hero is a is a destroyer of drinks. Do you know how many times people expect to see Sorky or Larva or all these players in the finals, and then comes Hero, boom, get out of my way. And these guys were looking so good that everyone was like, oh, we're going to see a Larva versus Flash final. It's going to be amazing. Hero comes, boom, get out. So, but I mean, it's Jadon. How can you bet against Jadon, against Sir, against his Sir? No, no, I don't know. But you know what? Hero is like a really tough opponent.
Yeah, it is true. Whenever I see predictions, you almost never see Hero's name come up. But like the past few seasons, I think it's like 4 in a row or something, or like he's just always makes it to the round of 4. Like he's consistently there. I'd have to actually look at his stats, but I do remember seeing him almost every season in the round of 4. Let me look.
Yeah, he's really solid when it comes to CBC. Like if from the older players, I feel like Hero and Zero, they can be really tricky to play against.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we are getting a look at how today's games went. It went back and forth pretty much. Win on Sylphid, 2 for mine, then getting the score back to 2-2 for Queen. But in the end, it is the Terran that reigned supreme. So we've got our top side semifinal set. As we mentioned, it is Best versus Mind. And, stats say that Best is a little favored there, but Mind's been playing so well that I think Best is going to have to be on top of his game. And I am looking at
Best.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go.
I was going to say, I am looking at Hero stats, by the way. Like, 2 seasons ago, he got top 16, but like the past 4 or 5, he's gotten 3rd or 4th place. So this guy's definitely no joke. And he is going to be facing off versus Jadong next Monday.
Indeed. That is going to be really brutal, man. No matter what, it's going to be a great day. Like it's been today. Amazing games, different builds. You can be disappointed that Sir didn't advance or but it is what it is. It's so competitive. This guy mind is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he is. He's playing really well. I didn't know what to expect from him because I don't see him stream that often, or at least not in like the past couple years, but he's crushing it.
Yeah. He already like it's becoming less and less excuses to say he's been lucky, because he's like beating so many great players and in a good fashion. It's not like just tricky games or just like a some rush. No, actually he's like doing terrible with the rushes.
Yeah.
Just doing super solid with the normal games. So yeah, and I'm just really looking for him. And I remember I think people sleep a lot on Mind, because like from time to time he just remember everyone that, hey, wait a minute, I can beat the best players.
Heck yeah, he can. Clearly he can. He's out multitasking them also. Like, he's all over the place with his units. Someone pointed out, I think in chat, like, what is this 220 APM? Like, that's really low for pro level play. But it doesn't matter if you're effective with it. That's all you need to, do everything that you need in the game. And he is using it to perfection.
I'm pretty sure this guy has one of the most effective AAPMs from all the pro gamers. Like, I have no doubt.
He has to. He has easily the lowest APM, at least I think, from what I've seen. Generally, when I think of slow, and I'm doing air quotes, I think of like around 280, and there's only like a couple players that come to mind when I even think of that. But I'm excited for the Zerg versus Zerg. Be off stream, I told you, like, hey, we're into the round of 8. The series are going to be short now because we've only got potentially 5 games. But every series has been pretty epic, and I would love to see us get into a 20 or 30 minute ZVZ, because that means we're going to get Hive Tech most likely.
Oh, now you can want to watch a 40-minute CBC every game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love that type of play because you get to see comps that you never get to see. Devours, Plague, all types of unit comps that you can, or Ensnare even in Hive Tech ZVZ.
Yeah, we are going to see. We are for sure going to be to expect one of the most aggressive serve players in the history of this game, Jadon, and then Hero that is made a name for himself in in the CBC matchup in this ASL era.
Yeah, Hero's done very well in recent ASLs. As I stated, consistently third and fourth place. Maybe this could finally be the season that he breaks through the finals. You know, I saw in one of the signs, rooting for Mind, it said something along the lines, achieve your dream, Mind. And I guess that means that they really want him to win the Star League. And, you know, there's a lot of storylines. Also, Best running for potentially his first Star League.
Jesus.
And JYJ, Soul Key too.
I know Mine's been doing well, and he's like, well, we have to say goodbye, guys.
Yep, we do have to say goodbye. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. We've got more ZVZ and more Zerg versus Terran. I'm sure they're going to be very exciting, so you don't want to miss it.
Bye-bye.